Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And today I'm going to program the triggers I need to play the radio messages that we have along the game. One of the triggers is a location trigger. If the spaceship passes through there, it will trigger the sound. And we can pick up that trigger and work on that and change it, adapt it until we have all the triggers we need for each mission. I guess I'm going to program mission by mission, and eventually I will have all the technical needs fulfilled. Let me just test if this is working. Hello, yes, it's working. So the chat is working. Feel free to comment or ask questions. And let's go. So let's open level 1. This level should have numbers, or maybe not. First trust is the first one. The spaceship just goes up and that's it. We need to park over there. This level, I believe, okay, it has the limits. And we need to put here some triggerings. Let me look at this trigger. So I call it trigger 2 or trigger 1. Let's work with trigger 2. Let's look at the script of trigger 2 and see exactly what we have here. So we have a tag or a group that will detect something. In this case is the center of the spaceship, that it has a little collider, a little area named target center, I believe. Let me make sure I'm not saying anything wrong. So I have here an area 2D node with a tag or with a group target center, and this area is a tiny collision in the middle of the spaceship, so we can actually detect if the spaceship is somewhere. Okay, so here we have the group to trigger the sound, the name of the sound or the name of the file. Eventually we can update this to have instead of a unique name, having an array, a list of files. So the computer auto selects one of them and it always sounds a little bit different. It has a reference to the radio manager script. And the ready function gets the radio. I don't need this comment anymore. Gets the radio manager and connects the area to this call parent. I don't know why I call it call parent. Anyway, if the collision happens, it will call this method. It will check the tag or the group of the other object, and if it is the correct group, if other is in group to trigger, it will send the file name to the radio manager. Pretty simple. So you enter the area, and it just goes there. But there is a case where you need to detect more than just if you are there. For example, in level 4, let's play the game a little bit. On level 4, let me just mute the music, lower a little bit the volume. On level 4, we hear the message saying prepare to rotate, to start rotation, and that is happening at a specific spot. But that can not happen just in that specific spot, because I'm going slowly. Ready to start rotation, so I will rotate, and as you can see, I'm going out of the thing. This means that I need to detect the speed. It only says ready to start rotation if the spaceship triggered that area, but at the same time is stopped, or at least almost stopped. So to do that, we will need to have some kind of checking the parent's speed, before we trigger the sound. Because we are detecting the spaceship center area, which is a direct child of the main node of the ship, and that will be always the case, we can, if we find the other area corresponding, we pick up the other area, we get the parent, and we read the speed that will be around here. Velocity should be next or very close to 0. So let's do another trigger with that feature. So this trigger over here, it has a trigger area. So let's create a new script called trigger area speed, just because the name needs to be direct and simple. Trigger area speed. So it will trigger if we are at the correct space, a correct position, and with the correct speed. I don't remember. Yeah, let's do a note and then we change it. So this area 2, so this trigger 1 is the first one that triggers when the spaceship starts moving. That message that says start to fire the main engine, and then the second one will be ready to rotate. It will happen around here. Let me disable this spaceship and okay. So the second one will happen, I don't know, around this area, but only if the speed is next to 0 almost. I'm not sure why I cannot see the area. Maybe it's a bug, because this is visible. Well, whatever. It's working, so I don't care. So the area is here, and instead of using this trigger area, we will use the trigger area speed. Trigger area speed, where is the trigger area speed? It's here. And this trigger area speed will be the same as the other one. So copy paste everything with the addition of the speed. So we need export public float maximum speed or speed. eventually we can update this script to have booleans and to have triggers to set up if it's higher than or lower than whatever. So at this point, speed equals I don't know, 1. We need to set it up as lower or higher. First, let's test the lower, and then if it works as I'm expecting to work, we set up the variable to change lower or higher. So we collide with the thing, we find the correct group. Yes, it's in the correct group. So if the other thing is the correct group and we are below the speed, I don't know if I do it here or if I put another if inside this if, because no, I will do it here. So if the other is in group to trigger, and the speed of the parent of the other, so other dot get parent dot linear velocity get parent the other, oh no, other is an area to D. Get parent will be the rigid body. So, but I need to specify it here. And now we can get the linear velocity, which is a vector 2. So we need to transform it into a float length. Come on, the opposite. So if we are with the correct group and the other parent linear velocity is lower, I guess I will go one if inside the other if, because if I want to have the lower or higher, I will need to have two different operations. So this doesn't go here. So if it's in the correct group, let's work the thing. So another if it's lower, so lower than speed, it will play the sound. Maybe for now let's keep it this way. Save. Now we need to have some kind of, let me see. Oh, this is area entered. So it needs to be lower at the moment that it's entering the area. So maybe this is not, we can have a different way of solving this problem. When it enters the area, it signals that, and when it reaches the speed, it will trigger the message. Because this needs to be below the speed at the moment that it enters. And maybe it's not yet, it's deaccelerating. So let's see if we have a different message. Area entered, area exited, and it doesn't have a inside area that is constantly working with the thing. So we can have the area entered to get the object and the area exited to let go the object. And while we have an object, we work with the object. That's the best approach here. So to do that, we'll also need to have the area exited we will call this grab other, clear other, grab other, public void grab other will be expecting an area today. Okay, and clear other will be the same. Copy, paste. We need to test if it's the correct object, so let's do it. If the other is in group the trigger, we will put the other somewhere. So we need another variable to hold the spaceship. The spaceship is a rigid body, so rigid body 2D. Let's call it other ship, whatever. Let's call it ship. So if the other is in group, ship will be equal to rigid body 2D other dot get parent. So we get the parent of the other because the other is an area inside the rigid body, and we cast it as a rigid body, so we get the rigid body object here. I believe that to clear this problem, clear the object, we can do this, but I'm not sure. It doesn't give me an error here, but I already had problems with this making something null, and later the Godot does not allow me to do that. So I'm not sure if this will work. And because I'm not sure if this will work, I will test it. So for now, let's just comment here. And I need to look at the remote. Let's play. So when the object enters, wait, I need to make this public or else I will not see anything. Copy, paste. Save, build. So I will play. Can I have here debug visible collision shapes? Okay, and let's play this and look at the tree structure of the game. I cannot play in full screen, as you can imagine. Window, close, play. So I should have let's remote first. Okay, play level.
This is command. Prepare
let me stop here. Okay, I'm outside of the area. The area is around here. It's not visible, I don't know why, but it's around here. So let's go. Let's get the variable so we can see if the null is working as I'm expecting to work. Where is layer 2? No, layer 1. And where is space station? No. Endgame? No. Where is the target? What? Maybe it's out. Okay, it's outside of the rendering group. Trigger 2. So ship is null. We don't have anything. So now let's enter the. Let's slowly enter the area. So this will have a reference to the ship eventually. It should happen. It should already happened. And I have here a bug that okay, it went out. We have some error here. So what's wrong? Trigger type of unable to cast objects of type area 2D. But it's supposed to be an area 2D. Now let me look at the line. So the line is 20. No. Where is the line? Unable to cast object of type trigger area speed to type Godot area to the. I'm casting the area. I'm casting this where? I'm not casting this anywhere, I guess. This is not happening because I don't use this name anymore. Grab other area 2D because this will send an area 2D. Okay. Other, if other is in group, whatever, this is a ship is a rigid body. We will cast the other, that is the other is an area 2D for sure. Get parent. Maybe the other is not. Well, spaceship 1. Spaceship 1 is area 2D. This is the area that triggers that. Triggers the target center. And the parent is is a rigid body. So I'm not sure why, or maybe this is happening in another script. Where is the script? I don't see the name of the script that is triggering this error. This comes from where? End game area. Maybe the end game area is detecting the triggers, and that's the problem. So let's go to the level end game area. End game area, area entered, on area entered. Okay, it's directly getting the parent, and it doesn't care if the parent is the correct parent. So we need to make sure that we are not detecting other triggers except the player. So we need to do the same thing here. If it's in another group and the other group has to have the same name, copy. So if other gets parent is in group to act. Oh, no, it already had. Oh, player. Yeah, but player is the player, is not the trigger. If the other is in a group, if it's not in group, it doesn't happen. Okay. Exited. Exited doesn't exit. The area enters and stays there, so that's not a problem. I'm not really sure. And player. Oh, let me see something here. This one, endgame area, is detecting other get parent, so it's detecting the main node group. I need to change this because this one is detecting the main node group, and the ship has a main node group. It's called player, but the triggers don't have main group. The triggers don't have groups, and because of that, the error will unable to cast whatever because it doesn't. Maybe it's because they don't have groups, so they are triggering each other and they don't have groups, and the script doesn't like it. So maybe we need to have something like if the other don't have group. Well, but I guess this would be false if the group doesn't exist, or else it would trigger to every object in the, also with the space station, etc, etc. So maybe this is not a problem. Let's try to see. The error should be, looks like the same, and this last two happened when I was predicting that the ship entered and exited the area. So I just not sure why it's trying to cast, unable to cast object of type trigger area speed to type Godot area 2D. I'm not seeing where I'm trying to cast that. Script trigger area, and this one is called trigger area speed. Trigger area speed. So where am I casting this class into something else? I'm not doing that. Or maybe it's the ship that is detecting the trigger. Let me see if the ship has some kind of The only area the ship has is this one. It doesn't have a script here, but maybe this one is trying to find something. Let's see if we have some connection here. Yes, we have. Body entered. Check impact. Maybe it's this that is causing the problem. Impact. Check impact is here. Oh, check impact was not correct up there. So maybe it's this one that is no, but I don't have any other. I'm not using the other here, so it's not that. This is the only connection I have here. I don't have. Do I have any reference to the area today? Polar gravity, float booleans, vector. It's easier to find. Area, no results. Okay, so I'm not casting anything. Not sure why this error. Let me clear and play again to make sure. I don't understand where that error comes from. Play. One. It will enter the area around here and exit the area around there. Okay, so I have one, debug something in the beginning, two, when it enters the trigger area, and another two when it exits the trigger area. And the error looks to be the same. Unable to cast object of type trigger area speed to type Godot area 2D. The problem is that I'm not seeing which object or which script is triggering this error here. Timer, varium generic, this is not mine. Endgame area script method generated, maybe endgame area line 69 is the problem. Let's make sure endgame area line 69 does not exist, so maybe it's not this script. This is something else. C# instance bridge is not mine also, so it's something inside Godot that is not liking the way I'm doing the solutions. So, but I believe it has something to do with this endgame. Where is the map? It's here. The endgame area, something inside this script that is not working well. But it also doesn't make sense, because if this was the error is related to the trigger area. So if the problem was I have a trigger area inside the endgame area and this one is interfering with this one, I should have more errors because that one is also inside, and they do not interfere with each other when the spaceship pass through it. So I would have one error in the beginning and not any more, unless they are different. Unless they are different. Yes, they are different. But I'm not sure why this trigger area speed. Let's check in the scripts again. Trigger area speed. Oh, come on. Area today, probably. Probably because this is the wrong type of node. Let's see. Play. Okay, no debug now. We should have something. No errors, come on, this was so easy to solve. And I was here having so much problems. Where is the end game area? Let's turn off that because I don't want to see that rectangle. Save. And let's do the same test I was trying to do in the beginning, which is I want to see if the null is actually nulling the thing. So area 2, trigger 2 should be smaller. Let's align this there. So when it passes, when the center of the spaceship passes through the gate, we should have a null in the variable. Play. Play level 4.
This is command. Prepare for main engine burn.
Let me deaccelerate. Okay, let's stop. Almost. So now let's get the structure here. Station approach, trigger 2. And here is the ship variable that is empty. If I go down, this should have the spaceship around here. Oh, it's not picking up the spaceship. I believe it's not picking up the spaceship. It's not picking up the spaceship. So this trigger area speed, if the other is in group and group is target center, unless this is not correct, let me check if the name is correct. Probably. Ship area target center. Target center. Okay. Target center. The name is correct. Let's print. I prefer to print instead of looking at the variables. So if the thing is inside the correct group, let's print we have it. And if we let go, we write clear.
This is command. Prepare for main engine burn. Roger that.
Yes, we have it. We get that we have it. Yes, we have it. So it's getting the thing, but it's not releasing the thing. So that exit is not working. Maybe this is not exited, area exited. Let's node area exited. Yes, it's the correct. Is the correct name. Area exited to clear other is not correct here. This is another thing that bothers me, because when we use strings, the Visual Studio doesn't see this as the name of the class or the method, so it doesn't tell me that this name doesn't exist. And at the same time, in Godot, when I connect this area exit to a non-existing method, it also doesn't tell me, oh, this connection failed, because I'm trying to connect to something that does not exist. So maybe that's a fix to implement. So clear other was not correctly written. Let's copy paste to make sure. Okay. So now we should have the thing. I have the thing working. I have that 0 printing, and the 0 comes from where? I don't remember. Oh, it's the speed of the impact. So that is happening. Where is happening? That is happening around here. Print velocity. Okay, so now we don't have this 0 anymore. We should see we get it and we clear when the spaceship passes through the point where it should trigger the message.
This is command. Prepare for main engine burn.
Around here, it should say we have it, and now we clear. Okay. So now, okay, let's repeat that. I want to look at the variable. It didn't give me any error, so the null should work. But I had situations where the null was not working. I don't know why. So I need to make sure station approach trigger 2. We should have here, oh, it doesn't show in real time. I don't know why. But yeah, if we have it, we are getting it. So I'm happy with it, at least for now. Let's print. So this is print area speed. Where do we have the process? We deleted yet. No, already. So we need the I don't need this anymore because I will do it differently. Well, I need this line, so let's send it somewhere so we don't lose it, and we don't need this anymore. This will be override process, and this will be a double delta. So if we have a ship, we check the speed. If ship is different from null, let's print it. We have it here. We don't need this clear anymore. And we have it if we actually grab the ship inside the script. And it should happen every frame.
This is command. Prepare for main engine burn. Roger that.
We have it, and now we don't have it anymore, so we printed 133 frames of having spaceship. So yeah, it's working. Nice. So now we need to detect the speed. Let's say So this is just to get the variable, this is just to clear the variable. And now we say if the speed of the spaceship is lower than the speed we have in the variable, so if ship is already a rigid part, if ship dot linear speed velocity dot length is lower than speed, I should call this velocity. Let's change the name of the variable to velocity. Let's give it a little bit more, 10 as a default value. So if it's lower, let me see, how do I trigger the thing? Oh, when it enters, it triggers the sound, so it happens only once. If it happens only once, this means that I will add 101 whatever messages, because this will happen every frame. So we need to have another boolean message triggered. I guess this is not a message. Played, maybe. It's not triggered, it's not played, it's message. Yeah, whatever, it stays played. It's false by default, so when we play the message, so if the velocity is lower than what we are expecting, and what? Copy, paste. And we're not message played message. Let's change the name, played message, because this is more logical in English. We're not played message, copy. What we do, we play the message, so this goes there, and we say played message equals true, so it doesn't play again. And that's it. This should happen only once. When we are inside the area and the speed is below whatever number is there. So now let's try to pass fast, and then let's try to stop inside the area. And I will do another thing. I will extend the area a lot, so we actually know that we are inside the area no matter the place we stop. So this area should be like, oh, this is one of the things I was talking about 3 or 4 streams ago. Because I duplicate this, and I duplicate eventually the child, this shape is that shape. It's not a duplicate, it's not a copy, it's not a different entity, it's actually the same entity. Well, it's not the same entity, but somehow the duplication process does not clear the reference to the actual shape that is stored somewhere inside the Godot file. So if I change the shape of this one, I'm also changing the shape of the other one. When I duplicate something, I want a new copy. I don't want to have the same object, or else the duplication function is not doing anything, because I will need to delete everything and redo it again. Okay, I want to duplicate, and then I want to alter this shape and not alter that shape. I don't know if this is a feature or a bug, but it looks like a bug, and it's kind of annoying. This is just a square, so it's kind of easy. Let's delete. Let's do another one, collision shape, and now we get an, or maybe I could, let me undo, let me make sure. Undo. Is the same? Yes, it's still the same. If I reset the shape and create a new one, does it solve the problem? Where is the shape? It's no longer there. Oh, it's super thin and super small. Can I? Okay. No, now I'm not changing that one. So the shape is a new entity, the collision shape is a new entity, but the reference to the rectangle is the same. And yeah, the duplication doesn't do anything, because if I have to redraw the shape, and this is a square, it's easy, but imagine a polygon with 300 dots around the spaceship. I don't want to redraw everything, I just want to adjust what is different or whatever. So maybe when I duplicate, we also need to duplicate the reference, the rectangle reference, and not just have the same reference here. Maybe this is an option, maybe this is a feature, but it looks like a bug, and I don't actually like it. And okay. But who am I? Yeah. If I don't like it, I can solve it, because I can program it and correct a bug and submit the bug, but I'm not there yet. I don't know how to program Godot itself. So we have the shape here. It's very big, so the shape will be inside the shape very easily, but we will only hear the message when we stop, or when our speed is below that magical number that is set up here, 10. And the message should be, I don't remember the message name, should be ready to start rotation. Can I copy this name? F2 copy. Ready to start rotation. This goes inside this trigger variable here, paste. So first try, let's just pass full speed. And we shouldn't hear the thing unless the speed is already below 10. I don't know if 10 is too much or too less, but...
This is command. Prepare for main engine burn. Roger that.
Okay. No message. Let's restart the level.
This is command. Prepare for main engine burn. Roger that. Ready to start rotation?
Oh,
Roger
perfect. Perfect. It's actually playing the message only when I'm stopped. Ready to start rotation. Now I'm rotating. Let's restart again the level.
This is command. Prepare for main engine burn. Roger that. Ready to start rotation? Roger that.
We should have a counter So it's not only when I'm below 10, it's when I'm staying below 10 for a period of time. Because if I start to deaccelerate, I'm going, let's say, I'm going down. If I'm going up now, eventually it passes through 0, and then, you know, going down, less than 10, 0, and then goes again above 10. So I should stay at 10 for like 1 second or something like that. Yeah, that's a great feature. Another thing I want to do is to have a variable to set up if I'm going to detect below speed or above speed. Or better than that, the speed should be, I guess the speed is always positive because the length, no matter if the length is positive or negative, 0 doesn't exist. If it's going positive or negative, it will have a length. So this is always a positive number, I'm pretty sure. Returns the length magnitude of, yeah, magnitude. In Unity is called magnitude of this vector. So it's always a positive number. It's always a positive number. That means that I don't need to set up, if I'm checking if it's higher or lower, I can have two numbers. One for the minimal value and another for the maximum value. So if it's below, if it's between 0 and 10, it will be below 10. If it's between 10 and 1 million, it will be above 10. And that's kind of simple because I can set the window in whatever place I need it to be. So instead of setting velocity, let's say minimum velocity and max velocity. Copy, paste. Max is on top, min is on bottom. Minimum velocity, and let's say 0. So by default is from 0 to 10. And here we need to check if we are below maximum. And if we are above minimum. So, and we are above, so greater than minimum. Let's do the opposite. Lower than maximum, and here higher than minimum. Min. So we are checking 3 things. If the sound is never played before, if we are below the maximum speed, and if we are above the minimum speed. If all the 3 are true, we play the sound and we set the sound as played. So it will not play anymore. We can kind of reset this when we clear the object. Let's say, imagine a thing where you enter the area and you exit the area, and then you enter the area again, so you can have the play again because you eventually reset the thing. So this can be false. This will reset the variable. It will play again the sound, but we need to go out of the area. And we need also the timer. We need some time in between the window to activate the sound. That could be 0, could be immediately, but if we have a time. So export public float, and this public float will be, how do we call it? Not delay, not time. How do I call this to make sense? Wait time? Doesn't make sense. Wait time. Wait to trigger, whatever, or delay to trigger. Delay to trigger equals by default to 1 or to 0.5 seconds. So now we need to count this time. And of course, float counter. We need to count, so we need a counter. And we count where? We count here. If the thing makes sense to happen, we need to count. And if the count reaches the point where it should happen, it will play the sound. Yes. Another if, inside another if. There are people that doesn't like this. But well, I can write everything the same if. It will be unreadable. So I prefer like this. I'm sorry. So, oh, no, if not, nothing yet. Let's first count. So if we are inside the condition to play the sound, we start counting the time. So counter plus equal the delta that's it. Counting time. We need an else statement for this one, because if we are outside of the speed, and so we deaccelerate, we start counting, but we start to accelerate again, we are no longer inside the window, so this is false, means that else we reset the counter. We need to start the counter again. So counter equals 0. That's it. If eventually we play the thing, this will no longer be true. No matter what, this can go 0 every frame. I don't really care, because it will not play again. So yeah, no problem. So counter goes up. If counter is higher than the delay, it plays the sound. If counter is greater than delay to trigger, now we play the sound. So it's a lot of conditions for this to happen. And I believe it's kind of easy to read. We have a ship. The ship is inside the velocity and the sound never played before. We can actually have this there. So if we already play the sound, we're not even resetting the count. That's it. It's already played. This doesn't need to be tested. Okay, we never play the sound and we have a ship. Is the ship inside the speed to play the sound? Yes. we start counting time, because it needs to stay there for a period of time. Is that time already passed? Yes. We play the thing and we lock the thing. That's it. So now let's test it. Let's say, like, instead of 0.5, I will put a bigger number, like 3 seconds or something. Let's build this script. So delay the trigger, let's put 3 seconds. And minimum velocity 0, maximum velocity 10. Okay, it's a good window. So now what I'm going to do is I will accelerate, so the spaceship comes from above, it will deaccelerate, and then I will not stop the engine, so it will start to go there. So the speed goes below 10 and eventually goes above 10. You shouldn't play the sound. In the second test, I will stop and I will try to stay for 3 seconds without moving, and we should have the second sound.
This is command. Prepare for main engine burn. Roger that.
Yep. Now let's try to stop for 3 seconds. I'm not stopped enough.
Ready to start rotation?
Yeah. Ready to start rotation, roger that. So now we have a trigger that triggers a sound in a specific place with a specific velocity
Auto lock activated. Roger that.
and it's nice, very nice. So 10 is, maybe it's too small, maybe 50 it would be, because the ship can have a little bit of drag when we rotate. Cannot be go if it goes super fast, it'll be difficult to align, but if it's not exactly stopped, it's also easy to realign the ship. So 10 maybe is too much. Let's go 50, and 3 seconds is a lot, of course, so this was just to have a clear window. 1 second is enough. If we are stopped for 1 second is enough, because if I'm not stopping correctly, I will not be there for 1 second. Let's say, let's play like 1 or 2 or 3 times just to make sure it's behaving good enough.
This is command. Prepare for main engine burn. Roger that. Ready to start rotation? Roger that.
Okay, so now I can approach. I'm moving a little bit up, but no problem, easy to stabilize. Totally playable with 50. I can go lower a little bit, maybe 30.
Auto lock activated. Roger that. We are docked.
We are docked. Let's repeat again. Now let's play really bad.
This is command. Prepare for main engine burn.
Oh, I need to go there. How do I do that? Oh no. I'm a beginner. I cannot play this game. And now, no more fuel. The sound is broken. Let's repeat again. Let's try to accelerate too much after braking.
Roger that.
Oh, I need to stop here. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, it doesn't say anything. I need to stop. The sound is not playing sometimes. It's not stopping playing when I let go the key. Okay. Yeah, so 50 is okay, I guess. I need to be stopped enough to have the sound. And stable enough to have the sound. Now let's play properly.
This is command. Prepare for main engine burn. Roger that. Ready to start rotation? Roger that.
If we want to get crazy, we can have something like the ship is not flying. Go left, go right. Maybe that's a future feature.
Auto lock activated. Roger that. We are docked. Roger that.
Nice. Let me just check, because I changed the name of the function. Let me just check if this is still breaking apart. Yes. Okay. So we have a trigger that triggers when I reach a specific point in space, and it doesn't care about speed. We have a second type of trigger that cares about the speed. So now what can we do with this trigger? Can we solve all the levels with these two triggers? Let's go one by one. First thrust. So in this first level we need to go forward. This is the tutorial level. I'm teaching someone to play the game. So maybe I will have something like, to start, probably I will have this. Accelerate forward briefly or something like that. And I can have something. So the speed trigger will work here. That when I reach a certain velocity, it will trigger a sound. Okay, you can stop accelerating. And then we are floating forward. Then when we reach this point, no matter the speed, start to deaccelerate and stop at the target. And we stop here. Then we play the sound when the level ends. Okay, so that will work here. The second level is the same thing, so it's sideways. And this third level, I need to disable this debug visible collision shapes. The third level, we have rotation. The third level, we have rotation. So we play the sound here, the point to the target, whatever. We can detect the amount of rotation, and if we are stopped rotating. Okay, when we stop rotating, we have the message saying fire the main engine as soon as we target. Now rotate backwards and prepare to fire the main engine to stop or something like that. And the other message is the same technique to detect here. See, sometimes it doesn't stop, I don't know why. And this one is, we already played, and this one.
Roger that.
We need to undock, go backwards. This is getting to the, no, it will say dock at go to the dock number 3, which is this one over here. And at the dock number 3, we will connect to the dock. I'm trying to see if the triggers we have are enough to solve these problems. We can have like, yeah, we are aligned or whatever, or dock to the thing, so that what we have is actually useful. But now we need another one, I believe.
Auto lock activated. Roger that.
We need to detect if we are connected to something. Because when we do this, we should trigger the sound that will say, now dock to the next thing. So we need to check, we need another trigger to check if the joint has something. If it has something, it will trigger a specific sound. That will help to detect attached bodies to the main ship. Go, no, no, no. Okay. Maybe we can have a list of joints, because at this point we have 3 joints. We have one here and another there. They are the, so at this point we have 1, 2, 3 objects connected. And when we have 3 objects connected, we could have the message saying, and now return to your parking spot, which is the next phase of this mission, and we can do it. Again, we can have triggers to trigger the messages here. But this, maybe those messages, those triggers need to be attached to the space station somehow. Because if I move the space station, the points of triggering will move. Yeah. So I need another trigger that is the same as the trigger area speed, but it will be trigger area angle speed or rotation instead of speed. Speed is not actually the best name for it. So let's create a new C# script called trigger area rotation, and this should be an area 2D. And this is happening in the level lateral, no, docking, no, orbital turn. I don't remember the name. Maybe this one. Yeah, it's this one. I already thought on making the tutorial as this, you know, where you pass to the point and it says, oh, do that and do this, whatever. But no one is going to read that. That's the problem. So maybe I will not use this, or I can have both, but I believe these arrows pointing to the places and saying what you have to do, no one will listen to. No one will read it. At least the sound, it's there. You cannot shut off your ears. Well, you can mute the game, but muting the game is not having the full experience. It's the same as trying to play the game with your screen off. This doesn't make sense. I'm a sound guy, so for me sound is more important than the visuals. So we need a rotation thing here, and let's create area 2D where do I put it? Canvas off, could be directly here. Add child area today. This will be a trigger 2 probably, because it will be the second one. Oh, this is creating a very interesting problem now, because when I start, I'm already at the correct point. I need to turn first. So I'm already at the trigger, and I'm already below the velocity of rotation. So it will trigger the message immediately. So maybe what I need to have here is an option to, yeah, it needs to go 0, but before it needs to be higher than 0. And the same for the other one. The same for this area speed. Yeah, it's inside the window, but before it needs to be outside of the window, or else it is not valid. So if it starts already there and it needs to start speeding and then stop, this doesn't make so many sense, because this is to detect something reaching or something going out. But the rotation, that makes sense, because you could start already there, and then if you start rotating and stop, you trigger the sound. So trigger, let's put here a shape, a collision shape. This collision shape could be a circle maybe, because we are detecting rotation. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Circle is more expensive, so let's do a rectangle. Rectangular shape of 150 pixels by 160 pixels. Let's bring the shape. Let's disable this before I drag everything else out of screen. And game area off. So this trigger goes there. At this point it will trigger immediately. I don't want that. I want to accelerate first and then stop. But let's try. Where is the script? Script. Target area rotation goes there. And this will be basically a copy paste from this speed. We need to have the same functions, copy, paste. But instead of detecting speed, we are going to detect angle speed or angle velocity instead of linear velocity. Rotation something. Let's say ship. Rotation degrees. No, it's not this one. Velocity. Angular velocity is what we have to detect. Angular velocity. So we need a max angular velocity. And a minimum angular velocity. I guess this can go negative because it can rotate right or left. I don't know if the angular velocity tells me the direction, if it's positive or negative, but probably yes. Probably yes. So I will eventually calculate if angular velocity, and here max angular velocity. So we are already inside the spaceship, we are already inside the speed, so everything is the same. We just need to change the angular, but we need to go above first. So we can have the delay could be the same, so we can also have a delay of being stopped for a period of time. That's okay. We just need it is another angular velocity, is another export public boolean, so a true or false variable to set up if we need to go above, go outside of window before we go inside window. So how do we call that? So we have maximum, minimum, and coming from outside. Coming from outside, no, it's too long. I don't like the name. Enter window. Enter window speed. Enter window speed window. Enter speed window. So if this is true, by default will be false. But if this is true, the speed needs to be outside of this before. And how can we add that here? It's simple. We already have an else statement here. Maybe not. Because we already have here the plain message. We will need another enter speed window, and we will need another boolean associated with this one. To say boolean as entered or entered window, entered window. That is false. So if we are requiring this, this needs to be true. This goes true when we enter the window. Let's not detect if we are going to the right or to the left. Let's just detect if we are rotating above speed or below speed. Because if we want to detect direction, that will be more complex at this point. So what I want to do is, do we have a ship? Yes. Did you already play the sound? No. Okay, so this will happen. And what do we need to test now? Are we inside the window? I guess I will do it differently here. So if the ship is above minimum and below maximum, and we are not entered the window yet. This doesn't count. So we are inside the values, but we are not inside the window. We didn't enter the window. We started there, so we didn't enter the window. So if we are above minimum, below maximum, and enter the window, we will play the sound. Okay, this makes sense. But this is false. So how does this go through? This goes through if the opposite of this. If we are below, oh, this will be very difficult to solve. Below minimum or above maximum. Below minimum or above maximum. And we never enter the window. We not enter the window. We enter the window. So enter window equals true. So if we are rotating below the minimum or above the maximum, and this will not work. This will not work because if I'm not mistaken, and it's like a multiplication and the or is like a sum in math operations. So this will be tested first before that, or I don't remember. This will be tested first before that. I need to check that out. I need to check that out. I don't remember. Hello. In C#, in an if statement with and or, what happens first? Okay, so proceeds the AND operation has higher precedence than the logical OR. This means that an expression involving AND OR, the AND operation will be evaluated before the OR operation. This means that if you go above and I never enter the window, this will be true. But if I go below, or below, means that if I already enter the window and I'm below, it will make true again. Because this is one thing, and this is another. So maybe I need just to close this into parentheses. If it works like math, maybe, well, maybe this will work this way. So these are that, one side of the AND and the other side. Let's see what, yeah, it's what I was, yeah, this is the solution I need. Okay, so AND happens first. Save. So if I'm below or above, so if I'm outside of the window and I never enter the window. I can enter the window. This name is not can enter. I can enter. I never entered. Yeah, I can enter. So enter the window. No, I never entered. I never entered. So I'm outside. So this is false. This is can enter. Can enter window. True. Can enter does not exist. So can enter. Let's do another boolean for that. Boolean can enter. Can enter window. Copy paste. And here second. So if I'm outside of if I'm inside the window and can enter, it's because I went outside first. I will play the sound. Can enter is true. Yeah, it's just a name. I will just change the name because it makes more logic when reading. Can enter window. I will delete the other one. I don't like the name. Because the operation is like that. If I'm outside and cannot enter, and because I'm outside now, I can enter. If I'm inside and can enter, I will enter. So this is, I'm inside the window, so I can play the sound, and eventually I play the sound, so I know everything else because it's already done. I believe this works. If it happens, well, this is the counter, so I deaccelerate, starts counting, I accelerate again, stops counting, I stop again, starts counting again. Maybe I can go outside of the window again, but that's not a problem. Can enter window needs to be false in the beginning. I need to make sure this always starts as false, because if I reset the level, I will not reset this object, I guess, or I will reset this object. Yeah, no matter. False is always a good practice to have the correct state in the beginning. And let's see if this is actually working. I hope so. So I have here the trigger zone. Could be a little bit bigger. Come on. 500. So I'm here. I will rotate. If I don't rotate, oh, I need a sound to play. I need a sound to play. So let's go here and find the sound we need. This is level 3. Let's. I want to organize this by levels. So level 1, level 2, and level 3. So let's work these tracks to get the rotation voice. I don't remember where it is. Maybe first, second, around here.
Hold position on target for 3 seconds. Rotate towards target using the thrusters and stabilize orientation.
Yeah, rotate to the target and stabilize the rotation. This is the message.
Rotate towards target using the thrusters and stabilize orientation.
Beep. this bip is not playing. Nice. So rotate towards target and stabilize the rotation.
Rotate towards target using the thrusters and stabilize orientation.
So let's export this sound as save file export. This is not selected. Super slow, I don't know why. Maybe I have some external drive not working properly. File, export this section, blah blah blah, mono, wave, export, and this goes not to the sounds, voice. This will be rotate and stabilize. I don't know if stabilize is correctly written. I don't speak English as my first language, as you may notice. Yeah, it should be okay. Let's make sure this is not wrong. Yeah, I believe it is. Save. Oh, let's remove the spaces. Rotate and stabilize. Save. So this trigger will trigger the sound rotate and stabilize. I need to build the script first. Well, no, this is not the first sound. This is the first sound to play. Rotate and stabilize. We want this the second when it's already stabilized. So we need the second one, which is the next one.
Prepare for brief main engine burst. Rotate backwards towards the...
Okay, prepare for a brief main engine burst. And we cut here.
Prepare for brief main engine burst.
Bip. Where's the bip? Another bip.
Prepare for brief main engine burst.
Too fast.
Engine burst.
A bit more.
Prepare for brief main engine burst.
Nice. So this is the sound we play when we stop rotating. And that is the sound we play in the beginning. So let's export this one as... I will need to change these names, because if I will have 400 sounds or 500 sounds, export sound with just names will be very difficult to find them later. Anyway, stop rotating. It's not stop rotating, it is brief main engine burn. Copy, save, and now we can say, let's play the sound, brief main engine burn.
Prepare for brief main engine burst.
Burst, whatever. And the other one is ready to start rotation. No, let's rotate and stabilize.
Rotate towards target using the thrusters and stabilize orientation.
Okay, nice. So I have both sounds here. And we can have a trigger. Trigger 1 will be the other script that plays when we reach there. So let's duplicate. Trigger 1. Trigger 1 will have the other script that is called trigger area. Trigger area. Oh, come on. It will play the sound, rotate and stabilize. Copy. Trigger area. Paste. Rotate and stabilize. And the second trigger is when we stop rotating, it will play. Okay, it enters speed window, so it needs to enter first, and it needs to be stopped for 1 second. I don't know the speeds, but yeah, let's do 50 again. Well, maybe 50 is too much, because if I need to rotate above 50, I don't know, 10. I really don't know how fast is what degrees per second, 10 degrees per second, maybe. Yeah, that's good. Let's see. Let's play. How much is the stream going? 1 hour and 48 minutes. Okay. Play level 3. It didn't play the first sound. It didn't play the first sound. Trigger 1. It's there. It should play the first sound. Oh no. No, yes. Oh yes. On trigger enter. On trigger enter. Area entered. If it belongs to the group, plays the radio message. And when it starts, it enters. By default, I guess. Let's see if entered. Let's make sure these triggers. We have the ship. Let's see if this triggers in the beginning or if I actually need to enter the thing. Play. Play, play, play. Level 3, play. Yeah, we have the ship. Why is not playing? Oh, of course not. Totally forgot something very important. Or maybe not. Where is the radio? Radio manager. Yeah, it gets the voice automatically from that folder. I don't need to have a list of sounds anywhere. I search the sound directly in that folder. Needs to be a wave sound. The sound is in the voice folder, so maybe the name is not correct. Rotate and stabilize is this one.
Rotate towards target using the thrusters and stabilize orientation.
Let's copy the name again. Copy. Trigger 1. Paste. Yeah, it's there. Target center. Do I need to restart Godot? No. Because I had the sound after. It doesn't make sense. Well, let's try. We'll never know. At least this doesn't take 15 minutes to put. We have a ship, but we are not playing the sound. Why? We have ship. If we have ship, why this is not playing? This is very weird behavior. Really weird. Why? Oh, maybe because radio manager happens after that. This will happen immediately in the beginning. And if radio message is not yet ready, it will not trigger the sound. Maybe is that the problem. So let's go to radio message and prepare it. Instead of ready, let's prepare it on the enter 3 or 3 and enter 3. That happens before the ready. So before the ready, it gets the audio player. Let's see if this solved the problem. In Unity we have the same problem. We have the start function, and then we have the other one I don't remember that happens before. But there was a game that I was trying to do where I actually needed 3 or 4 different steps of starting points. So I had to redo all the scripts to have my own start 1, start 2, start 3. As you can imagine, it's a lot of scripts when we reach a point or when we say, oh, we need more than one. So sometimes it's just annoying. Let's see if it's solved the problem. Play, level 3, play. No, this doesn't play anything. Let me make sure the audio is on. Yes, the radio is on. Let me make sure that the radio manager is receiving the message. Incoming message, it adds the message to the list. This list, maybe the list doesn't exist yet, but yeah, if I declare this should exist before the enter, I guess, or no, I'm not sure. Let's initialize the list here. just to make sure the list exists when enter the tree before the ready. Because maybe you are sending here the message, oh, but we don't see any error. And here should be print playing or adding new message plus message name. Save, Godot, play. We should have the message printed, the name of the message printed here. Play, 3 play. Yeah, it's there. I don't know why it's not playing. Doesn't make sense. The file is reaching the destination. Let's put this incoming message count is greater than 0 and it's not playing. Play path, Let's print this. Save. Let's return here. Play again. So we are receiving the sound there. Let's see if the sound goes inside the player. Adding new message res.//sounds.voices.rotate and stabilize.wave. Is exactly that. So this happens. So this is putting the sound inside the list. Let's print here. For each audio streams in message in messages, it will play the thing. So let's see if the for each is actually finding the sound. So let's go one step deeper. And here we want to see the message. Play. Slot 1, level 3. Adding new message, adding new 4. I don't know why. I have 4. It is all different. Oh, wait. I know what's happening. No. Trigger is only sending one sound, and trigger area only happens once because is trigger area entered. It only enters once. It's not doing it every frame, so that's not the problem. Always starting the sound from the beginning. That's why we cannot hear it, because every frame is replaying from the beginning. That's not the problem. I think it could be happening, but now where is the radio manager? We are printing 4 messages. Why do we have 4 messages? Why do we have 4 messages? We should have just 1. Why do we have 4 messages? Because here we are adding just one message But for each message in messages, we are printing 4 of them. Let's see exactly what we have here. Let's look at the message itself. So we have oh yes, we are not seeing we are testing the name. We are testing the name to see if it matches the other name, and if it matches the name, it will get that specific message with the index. Okay, let's look what we print now. This is a very weird behavior. Number 3, play. We are not printing anything. Okay. So I found the place where the thing is not happening is here. Message path is the same as the sound folder. Sound folder is what? Okay. Plus incoming messages. Let's print incoming message 0 to see what we actually are getting here. Copy, paste. We already did this. Message path, copy, paste. I believe we already did this. I'm not understanding where the bug is. Play, 3, play. Oh, we don't have it. We are not printing anything. Of course not, because this is happening before. Come on. Sometimes we are just dumb. 3, play. res :/sound/voice/rotate and stabilize.wave. So the message is there and is correct. So the incoming message 0 is correct. We set the index to 0 because we have more than one message to play. And I believe we are not playing, or we are playing. We are playing? No. Or else this wouldn't print. Okay. And for each message in messages, where is messages is the sounds. Where do I set up the messages? Where do I set up these messages? Doesn't make sense. Oh yes, or it makes sense. I need to have the sounds there. It doesn't make sense. Do I have a where is the out the radio thing. Radio. Oh, come on. I don't have anything. The radio. Project settings. Autoload. Radio manager is a scene. Is not, come on. It's not a script, it's a scene. Start to get tired and my brain is not functioning correctly. Radio, yes, I need to have all the radio manager. I need to have, that's why it's not playing, because they are not here. Come on, come on. I thought I need to do this automatically. It doesn't make sense to be manual. So in the beginning, it gets all the messages that are here. It doesn't make sense for this to be manual. So rotate and stabilize. And we are ready to start rotation. No, brief main engine burn. Yeah, this needs to happen automatically. This needs to happen automatically. Let me say messages. Messages. This needs to happen automatically. Whatever. And that's a problem for the future me. Let's see if it's now playing.
Rotate towards target using the thrusters and stabilize orientation.
Okay, I will rotate and stabilize the orientation. But now I'm not sure how fast I need to rotate for the thing to detect that I stopped rotating. Maybe I'm still rotating too fast. Maybe 10 is not enough or is too high. Or maybe the script just doesn't work. Okay, so this one is playing correctly now. I was being stupid. I forgot that I need to put the sounds here. And this one is not. Maybe let's do 2 degrees per second. Maximum angular velocity. Oh, I remember what the problem could be, being negative or positive. So trigger area rotation, let's we need to absolute to make the rotation absolute. So linear, oh no, trigger area rotation. Yeah, we are not testing the correct thing. Come on, it's not linear velocity, is angular velocity. I was not being very smart. Angular velocity is already a float. Whoop. Copy, paste, paste, paste. And I will not do the absolute right now because I can test if it only works to the right and not to the left, means that we have positive and negative numbers, so we can actually detect if we are going left or right. Let's go 10 again, play, and that could be useful eventually. So turn, play.
Rotate towards target using the thrusters and stabilize orientation.
Okay.
Prepare for brief main engine burst.
Yes, it's actually happening. Let's try restart and do the left turn. I'm in front of the spaceship, sorry.
Rotate towards target using the thrusters and stabilize orientation.
It doesn't work to the left side, only to the right side.
Prepare for brief main engine burst.
What? Or maybe it works to the left side. Let's do it again. Yeah, I need to go faster.
Thrusters and stabilize orientation. Prepare for brief main engine burst.
Yeah, I need to go faster, so this is too high. Let's go 2. Play. Number 3, play.
Rotate towards target using the thrusters and stabilize orientation. Prepare for brief main engine burst.
Now here we can have the other message saying rotate around, and here we can have stop at the target with the main engine. Okay, so the trigger, where is the script? The trigger area will solve that problem. The trigger area will solve the problem of the message to rotate backwards and to stop, and the angle or the rotation trigger area detects if I'm not rotating anymore. I can use this one also in the other level here. So we are ready to rotate, and when we stop rotating we can have another message saying start to approach the space station, careful with the speed, or something like that. So it could be useful also here. Number 1 and number 2 is just a linear movement. We can solve that with the area. The trigger rotation solves this the problem of level 3, and this also solves the problem of level 3. The area speed solves the problem of level 4, and where is the other level? Station expansion. In this level, I can have an area to trigger the first one that sends me to this door. When I connect here, so I need another one that has an area and detects if I have something attached. Okay. And I believe with those 4 kinds of triggers I can detect most of the situations I will need to trigger sounds. Probably. So trigger area rotation, trigger area speed, which should be called velocity, and trigger area, just trigger area. So now let's do a trigger area connection. Trigger area connection. Yeah. Trigger area connected. Wrong caps. Trigger area connected. So this will check if I'm in the specific area and if I'm connected to something. I will not specify the something I'm connected to. I'm just, because I actually don't need area 2D. And because if I'm connected at this point, I should be connected to the correct thing. If I connect there, but the trigger is here, of course it will not play the sound. Okay, sounds nice. So let's add an area to create a trigger, area 2D. Let's call this trigger number 2, I guess. This trigger 2 needs to have a shape, collision shape, and this shape is a rectangle, and this rectangle can be bigger, 500, 500, and this rectangle is not the center of the world, but I will not change the collision shape, I will change the entire trigger. So this should be, this is the background one, undo. I want to move this one. This goes here. So if I'm inside this area, maybe I can rotate it a little bit. Okay. If, oh, now this is the center of the spaceship, so it should be around here. Around here. So if I'm at this point and I'm connected to something, it will trigger the sound. Okay. So this trigger needs to have that new script that should be down here on triggers. Trigger connected. And the trigger connected will be the same as the other. Let's copy the speed maybe. And then we change what we need to change. Maybe this is too much. Anyway, trigger connected. And what we need to detect is if it has something on the variable, we need to have, oh, we need to get the hatch object, and the hatch object will have the hatch object does not connect. The hatch object is a scene. Yeah, the joint is inside the hatch. And the joint will connect one to the other. So we need to get the hatch. Inside the hatch we need to get the pin joint to D and check if node A and node B is different from null. It's what we need to do to detect the connection. So we don't need to detect the rigid body. We don't need to detect velocities. Delete the trigger. We don't need it. We don't need the counter, we don't need anything. Play message. Yes, this needs to exist. This needs to exist. I guess I don't need the area entered and exited. No, I need, because I need to be inside the area to detect the connection. So if the ship is different from null and the message has not played yet, this is what we will want to play. So we are inside the area. Now let's get that. No, we don't need a counter anymore, so this can be deleted. Okay. No more counter, so no more else. We get the object, we release the object. Nice. And the ship is the main body. So we need to get the edge inside the ship. Let's edge. Why not? Why not getting the edge as edge? No, doesn't allow me to create an edge. This is called what? Edge. I cannot have a variable of the type edge. It's not a public. It's not a public one. Come on. Spelling problems. Edge. Let's copy. Edge. So we get this, the rigid body, and then we get the edge. Edge is equal to ship dot get node of type edge called edge blah 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 get ship get node edge type edge. So it will get this one over here, and it will get this script over here. It doesn't need to be an edge because we are not getting specifically this script functions. We need the joint. So yeah, it could be a node to D instead of edge, but yeah, whatever. Let's keep it this way. If it doesn't work, we change to node to D. And inside edge, we need to get node pin joint to the copy is the same name. So dot get node of type pin joint to D called pin joint to D. Of course, this cannot be the thing. It cannot be an edge. It needs to be a pin joint to D. Pin joint to D. Let's call it pin joint to D also. Pin joint to D in here. We don't need the edge script. We need a pin joint to D script. This is a script somewhere inside Godot. Stop. So we get the ship. I don't really believe we need to access the ship directly, but yeah, it's already here. And then we get the pin joint to D that is inside ship, inside edge, and inside That's the structure. So we have the pin joint to the object. And now we can test if pin joint to the copy, paste. If pin joint to the dot node A is different from null and noid is not a noid, and noid B is also equals to null. So if we have a node A and we have a node B, we play the message and that's it. So as soon as we connect, we play the message. I strongly believe it will work at the first try, but maybe not. The only thing we are missing is the sound. So this will be level 5. Let's go mute these tracks. Let's go on the tracks of level 5 and get the render file. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to duplicate this again. I don't remember where I have the original tracks. Duplicate, yes, they are here, probably. So this is track 5, level 5. Let's open them. And let's find the message that should be around here. So
pull the lab module and attach it to dock 2 on the station. Pull the lab module and detach from dock 1 and proceed to dock 3 at the lab module. Pull the lab module and attach it to dock 2 on the station.
it's here. Delete. This is the first message. This is the second message. So drag the lab module until it connects to whatever.
Pull the lab module and attach.
It's not drag, it's pull. Pull the lab module.
Pull the lab module and attach it to dock 2 on the station.
And attach to dock 2 on the station.
Pull the lab module and attach it to dock 2 on the station.
Nice. So let's export this sound and let's test it.
Pull the lab module and attach it to dock 2 on the station.
File, File, Export. Why are you so slow to open the file manager, the file exporting stuff? Export, pull the lab. Pull the lab, save. And now on Godot, radio, whatever, add the message there. And save. And on station expansion, trigger 2. Let's build this script because we didn't do it yet. The message will be pull the lab. That's it. Save. And now let's test if we connect it and if it says pull the lab when we connect it to it. Enter. Play. Play. And if this is working, I actually have all the triggers I need to complete the entire sound radio stuff for the entire levels I have right now. Okay, let's go. Let's rotate. Let's break fast. So I'm technically entering the area. I will not connect.
Pull the lab module and attach it to dock 2 on the station.
It played without connection. Why? Is the if statements are the opposite? Probably. Or is not finding? No. If it's playing, it's because it's finding the nodes. If it's playing, it's because it's finding the nodes. Let me edit the level. Where is that level expansion? I will regret this. Maybe not. Where's the spaceship? It's here. Let's put the spaceship already there. Can I rotate it easily? 90 degrees. 152 plus 19. Yeah. Save. Doing math inside the number boxes. Excellent feature. It's one of the great features I see in some softwares, not all of them, but many of them do that. Let me check the script before play again, because if I play again without changing anything, I will have the same behavior. So if node A is different from null, so it has something, and node B has something, maybe I need to look at the tree, see what happens in play mode. Play, 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 play. Okay. Let's look at what we have. Remote window. Station expansion. So he's checking the trigger inside, he's checking the joint inside the ship, inside the hatch. Where is that? Layer, spaceship, hatch is here, hatch. Pin joint is nothing there. Or maybe the script grabs the objects as soon as they touch, but only connects them when we click on the button. So they're actually there. Let me see. Let's play and see what happens here. So I'll go forward very slowly.
Pull the lab module and attach it to dock 2 on the station.
And we have something here. No.
We are docked.
Yeah, when we docked, we have. That's super strange. Why is that playing the sound when there's nothing on the nodes? Am I reading this wrong? If join node is null, is different from null, so different is not null, is different from null. Let's put this the opposite. Radium manager only happens here. Is the opposite. It doesn't make sense. If it's null, it's because it's empty. Yes. I guess I'm. Or maybe. But it doesn't make sense.
Roger that.
Yeah, but now it doesn't play the sound. It doesn't play the other sound. This is a really weird behavior. If it's different from null, so if node A has something, must be a physics body, whatever. I'm just checking if it has something inside, and the node B also has something. Trigger area connected. Maybe I'm missing some. I didn't delete something that I should delete from the other script. Grab the other object. If it's in the correct group, grab the ship and grab the pin joint. If we need to clear it, I'm not clearing this one, but that's not a problem, I believe. Okay. So every frame, if the ship is not null, if we have a spaceship inside the area, and if we didn't play the message, we will check if we have the nodes inside the pin joint 2D. Trigger area connected dot pin joint 2D. It doesn't give me any error when finding the pin joint, so I believe it's actually finding the correct one, or maybe not, because this guy also has a pin joint. Space station, station block. Let me look at inside the station block. Yes, it has an hatch, but this hatch doesn't have, so it's here because it needs to connect. But this hatch does not have the correct group. No groups, no area. So it will not detect this hatch because this hatch it doesn't match this one. So the problem is not the hatch inside the other block, the problem is something else. Let me look at the hatch. The hatch object Manual control, male, female, auto lock, always auto lock. This is the areas that trigger the hatch, because the hatch has a light and has 2 detectors. It's like a very thin, 1 pixel thin connection. Area, a probe. I don't remember why I need a probe. Max speed, auto lock sound, lock sound, and that's it. It doesn't tell me that it's connected. It's just to enable and disable the connection. What actually connects, this is the area that detects the right side, the left side. Then this is the light, raycast, and the sound player. What actually connects is this pin joint that has a problem. There's no bodies. Okay. Maybe this raycast adds the bodies there before actually connect them and enables the joint after, because disable connection. No, this is on already. It's a very strange, but let me check. Where is the pin joint is here, this joint. Let me see what happens on this joint. Get node, yes, down here. Node A, this body, this happens where lock edge. When I lock the edge, it will put the things there, only when I lock. And when I unlock, I will disable them. Oh, it's not a null. It's a string. It's a string. Okay, so it's different from string, empty string. Oh. It's not null, it's empty string. Not sure why they decide to do this, but yeah, let's see if it works now. Play, continue, level 5, play. So now it should play only if I lock.
Roger that. Pull the lab module and attach it to dock 2 on the station.
Roger that. So it's actually working. Oh, too much rotation.
Roger that.
Detecting this second connection will be very difficult, because if I have the same thing here, it will detect this connection. So when I'm connected to a second object, I can do it in the same script. So I can have a boolean here. In the beginning, I can have a boolean here, like export public boolean, something called, or maybe not, maybe int connect connection level equals 1 by default. So if it's connection 1, it will search one edge. If it's connection 2, it will search one edge inside another object that is connected to the first edge, and so on and so on. So that's kind of easy to do. That's easy to do. So instead of doing this, if it's in the level 1, it does this. If it's a level 2, it gets another parent here. And level 3, it gets another parent. And we kind of have to decide how much levels we go, because I believe I cannot just add another node and get another node inside another node using an int to loop into that. So we actually need to have like 1 level, 2 levels, 3 levels, and if we need a 4th level, we need to have the command ready to it. But in this case, I will not do it today. I'm too tired now, and it's already 2 hours and almost 3 hours of stream. But let me just check the thing. If I'm on the ship and I'm connected to the hatch is connected to the node A and node B. Node A is always the first one. So hatch. Where is the hatch again? It's here. So the first one is always this body. So to get the second level, we need to go on node B. That will be the second body. So node B is that station block. Node B is this one, and node B dot get node hatch, and we check the same things, the same process, but inside. It's actually easy, very easy to do. And doing that, we are checking the second hatch, not the first one. But here we have a problem. We need also to do another check. We need to define if it's a female hatch or a male hatch, because they are different. This one does not connect to the same type. And in this case I have 2 hatches, because this block has one on one side and another on the other side. So if we have the parent and we try to find the hatch by the name, will be a problem, because one is called hatch 2 and the other, I don't know how to solve this. I need to study a little bit, because getting the hatch by the type, it's easy, but by the name it's not, because they have different names, and one can be 1, the other can be 2, the other can be 3. The station has 4 hatches, so I need to get the hatch, the correct hatch, or I specify directly which is the name of the correct hatch. I can do that, I guess, in a string. But every time I design a level, I need to not forget that, or I need to find a way of doing it automatically, which I guess is the best solution. Finding a way of doing it automatically, but I need to define the rules. The hatch always needs to be a direct child from the parent, always need to have some specific tag or some specific name, and following those rules, it will work all the times. Yeah, but I guess it's what I was doing here. Ship get node hatch, get pin joint wherever, dot get node b dot get node bin joint again, and so it will be a very long thing to test, and probably it will test. Oh, the bin joint will always be 1. This is always the first one, and then we test here. The pin A is the ship, the pin B is the second thing. But if it's well, this will happen if the level is 1. If the level is 2, it's the same thing, but we need to go inside node B to get the second edge. It's at this point we do it, not there. This one stays where it is, and this one, so here will be end connection level equals to 1. And we need to do the same thing for level 2. But here we need to go inside the node. So how do I go inside the node? Because this is a name, is a string. It's not a direct reference to the object. This is a string, so probably I will need to find a node with that name. And I hope it's not, Godot doesn't change the name on the fly or something. Yeah, but I will need to have to search the node B name to find the next. So this needs to happen somewhere else, not here. Let's leave it. Let's take a comment here. This will be a very difficult thing to solve. Getting the other object using the string name of it. I cannot forget this. Save. So I will not forget this, I guess. It's a very deep problem, many steps to reach the solution. So, yeah. I guess what I was trying to do today is done. I have different triggers for different situations. This one is the hardcore situation that I will do it tomorrow probably, or another day. And I can play sounds for the radio according to different situations. That's it. I will play the game a little bit from the beginning. To have a feeling, and I will end the stream because it's almost 3 hours. Let's go full screen. Full screen. Play. I will start on level 3 because level 1 and 2 does not have yet the triggers there. So the first thing, sorry, I will do something. I will put the music a little bit lower because I believe it's a little bit too loud. Whoop. So one of the triggers we did today was detecting when I'm stopped rotating in a specific spot. So we actually need to detect stopping rotating to trigger this message. Oh, it's not triggering? Come on. It was working.
Prepare for brief main engine burst.
The speed needs to be even lower, because if I go super slow, it will not detect that I'm stopping. So that trigger is working. This trigger triggers when I'm in a specific space at a specific speed. So around here, stopped. For 1 second at least. That's it. It's working very well.
Auto lock activated. Roger that.
We are docked. And finally, the one that detects connections. This auto dock is already enabled, but is not blinking.
We are docked. Roger that. Pull the lab module and attach it to dock 2 on the station.
Roger that. Let's connect to the lab. Oh. Stop. I need to rotate a little bit to the right. I'm not aligned anymore. This one is very difficult to control. Very difficult. Okay, let's go forward now. Stop rotating. Because now rotation is not rotation buttons, it's left and right. Because I'm off center. Let's rotate now. Okay. I'm going too fast to the right. Yeah, okay. Let's force it. We are docked. Let's stop the thing. Too fast in X and Y. It's almost stopped. This should be enough for me to return and end the level. So yeah, a little step forward in this game. I'm actually starting to get all the tools I need to design more levels.
Auto lock activated. Roger that. We are docked. Roger that.
We are docked. Oh, we didn't. Yeah, of course. It will not finish the level. Because the first step is to unconnect that level. I don't remember the name. The thing that checks if I'm doing the level correctly. The first step is to undock from door number 1, and because I changed the ship to test it faster, it will never stop. It will never end the level correctly now. So let's station expense. Let's return this to the correct position in the beginning. Ship should be around there. Let's rotate it to the left. 90 degrees. Minus 19. Yes. And now let's precisely put it already. You cannot see the colliders of the other one. It's around here. Whoop, too much zoom. What happened? I believe they are aligned. I cannot see. Can I disable the space station? Yeah, but I also disabled the thing. So let's do it. Not this one. Tick. So this needs to go there. Completely out of place. It's almost there. Because it needs to start. Okay, 1 pixel here, 2 pixels there. Yeah, they will connect already. Save. Let's make sure it connects in the beginning. Play. Yeah, we are docked. Okay, so now it's solved the problem. Okay, I'm happy with the solutions I did today. They can be improved eventually, but I guess I'm starting to have the tools to design more levels. The next level, the planet level, I needed more stuff for the planet level. So the purpose of this level is to enter the orbit. Oh, it's already broken because yeah, it will not work. It will not work. But the objective of that level is to enter the orbit of the planet and stays around the planet. I already have the simulation of the radial gravity done. That's why all the objects have this polar gravity script. This is actually the polar gravity simulation. I can show you, no problem with this. So it has no, this is not the mass. It gets the mass from the parent object, so it depends on the object. So this will get the position of the object of the self object, and the position of all of the other objects that it can find that have also the polar gravity node. And then the gravity is for each gravity, it will attract a little bit in that direction according to the mass of each one. So if it's a planet with a lot of mass, it will attract a lot in that direction. And if you have a moon here with less gravity, it will attract a little bit less in that direction. So the spaceship will start to fall over that object. If the object moves, the attraction will kind of follow it. And that's how the polar gravity works here. There is a list of objects, and at each frame, for each object, the rigid body is moved a little bit in that direction. If the object disappears, I believe this is not yet done. If the object disappears, I'm not sure if the rigid body disappears from the list. Probably this is not clean, because yeah, this happens in the ready function. So in the physics process, I'm not updating the list. But because I'm not doing this here. The version that you can play on itch.io that was made on Unity, it had that. I just didn't implement it here yet, which is using the event system to communicate if I'm here or if I'm gone. So actually, I don't have to look for the parents, look for the other rigid bodies. Each rigid body will communicate its existence to the others through the event system. So if, let's say, a moon breaks apart and now it's no longer one object, it's two objects, each object has its own gravity pull and each object has its own lower mass. At that point, when the big moon is removed to implement the two half moons, the removed one will call the event system and will tell everyone, hey, I'm gone, remove me from the calculation. And the two parts will appear and they will talk again using the event system to say we are here and we should be calculated. But I'm not seeing the event system being used here, so I'm not doing that yet. So the planet level is a level where you need to enter the orbit and stay at orbit. So don't fall too much and don't fly high too much. So you need to adjust the speed to kind of fall into the orbits of the planet, and it's kind of realistic. This is not a simulator. It doesn't have the third dimension, where it is just 2D, but the way of the things attract is kind of realistic. So if you go forward and you start to follow, if you start to deaccelerating forward, you start to fall into the orbit, but if you are with the correct speed, you are always falling, so you don't actually fall. If you deaccelerate too much, you fall. If you deaccelerate too much, if you accelerate a little bit, the orbit starts to get more oval until you get a speed where you can go out of the orbit. So yeah, it's kind of realistic in that sense, because the feeling I want is to have some kind of realism, but it's not accurate simulation. You know, yeah, the planet is too small and too heavy, and you know, it's just to represent the idea. And actually, the name of the game, the free return trajectory, if you look at what it is, free return trajectory is actually a maneuver that NASA did to enter the moon. I was not writing. Free return trajectory. So it's a maneuver. I get inspiration from this maneuver where you intentionally fall into the moon. You know, you are here, you accelerate forward a little bit, and then you escape this gravitation and start to get attracted to that one, and then here you accelerate backwards to get captured, and then you just accelerate forward a little bit to escape this one and return back. So it's actually a free way of going there and come back without wasting energy. If you are exactly in the right place, you will get around and come back for free. That's why it's called free return trajectory. Because if you are pointing to the right direction, you fall, but not enough, and you are catapulted to Earth again. And yeah, it's a very nice trick, and I found it very interesting. And the name is, that's why the game is named like this, because we need to play with gravity. But it's not a simulation, we are just playing. So today's objective was almost achieved. I have the different triggers. Maybe I will get all the sounds I need, and I will implement the triggers to have these levels at least completed. I guess I will not do it on stream, because that's the grinding part of making games, is the annoying part of repeating the process and add the thing, then test and whatever, you know. Making games is fun when we are finding solutions and we are coding it, or we are designing, or we are editing the sounds or whatever. But when we just have 200 sounds, 200 triggers to put there and just click, 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 you know, that's boring. But yeah, the game exists because we need to do that. And we actually do that. So yeah, I will do that probably offline. And when I return to the next stream, maybe I will have already what I programmed today implemented, and I will try to do the other one, the one that finds the second connection or the third connection or whatever. And that's it. Yep. So for today, it's done. See you in the future.